Hello and welcome in another episode of How to Lane, and today we're gonna go over bot lane matchup, which will be Caitlyn and Milio versus Jhin and Tahm Kench. So right now there will be something special at the start. Like, I know in many of your games a lot of things happen at level 1, so I thought it would be a cool thing to say what you should and expect as a bot laner from some cheesy plays or from potential dangers that can be there, and to make sure that you know how to specify is there gonna be one and how to behave in that situation. So general rule is to make sure to determine, as always, who's gonna win level 1, because if, like in many cases, we have a very aggressive lane that we cannot really do much against, there's one thing that we can do. We can stay somewhere. It's like here, or like here, like in this position where they are staying, and we can wait for them to come to the bushes and just, let's say, one auto attack and one Q, or maybe just Q, poke them a little bit before minions even arrive to the lane, or make them go into the bushes that we are waiting in. And through that, aggressive champions and champions who look for poke on the lane usually are not really strong in long exchanges, so that can benefit us. So in this situation, we want to remember that, well, they will be extra aggressive. Like Milio has double shield on his E, he has Q to disengage the Tahm Kench, and Jhin has lower range from the Caitlyn, and also he needs to reload by a lot. So most likely I would say that normally they would get destroyed by the team on the left. Of course, a lot of mistakes can happen. Jhin is also really annoying Tahm Kench as well. So right now, let's say I am Caitlyn and Milio, so I can expect that I will be pushing them, that they will struggle, right? So if I expect something like this, I should expect that my enemy knows it, and if they know it, they might try to cheese us in some way. And that's exactly what happens here, because it looks like they are defending, but they are also looking for something here. If you wanna look for something like that as Caitlyn and Milio, expecting your enemies to do something, you wanna make sure that you do it earlier, because if they wait for you already, it's an equivalent to something like, oh, I think enemies might be there, I'm gonna put a ward here, and you go there, you ward there, and on the moment when you ward, there's like 3 or 4 enemies waiting for you. We don't want that. So right now, they are coming closer, so what Tahm Kench is doing is just Q, and it could be matched with Jhin's Q and auto, which could be like Q auto or auto Q even, to jump on the Milio, and the longer trade in this case will not be the best, simply because, as I said earlier, Milio can just add to his E's, and we have 65 shield times 2, which is a lot. And what we wanna do next is actually survive, kinda, as Tahm Kench and Jhin. They are chasing, but they are forgetting that you don't really have much more damage, right? And you're going on their half. So here we get one hit, we get another hit, and they kinda do something, and they are acting like, okay, we are stronger, but they are not running because they are stronger. They are running because they expect someone from enemy team to be here. But on the moment when Tahm Kench crosses this line and they don't see anyone following, it's like, hey, bro, a little bit too far, right? And now they are the one going, right? Caitlyn uses the barrier, kinda in a weird way. You always need to remember that barrier lasts for 2.5 seconds, and you want to block some damage. You see Jhin's auto attack flying to you, or Q from the Tahm, then you wanna match it to make sure that you will be getting that. But in this case, like, they were on cooldown, so it was better to block an auto attack, I guess, if we want to use it so late. But now what happens from the situation when they could get some poke for free from afar and just make them scared and move back? Now Tahm Kench is on a very low health without a flash, and the only thing they paid with is barrier from Caitlyn. She will use her potion soon, and with the shields from Milio and the heal, they will really out-sustain them, because what we can see here is a ghost from the Jhin, which is a good summoner spell, don't get me wrong, but we have a heal that will directly impact our health pool, and...
Am I a joke to you?
And in this case, Ghost will probably just help Jhin to run away. And look on his position. He tries to be... I'm even curious right now. Here, after that, they have a ward, right? Like, they see what happens, and he literally goes 1 versus 2. Like this here, you see your support is so far away, and you already saw what they did to you. So why would you expect them to be weaker than you? Right now, Milio has shield coming in like 3 seconds or something like this, yeah? And this guy cannot do anything. Like, he can try to cast his Q from afar, but its range is like this, right? Like, a little bit too far. So once he steps on them, he might try to focus Milio, but he has half of a potion and more potion here, and then he has a heal, then he has a shield. It's not gonna end well for him, right? It's just 1 auto attack and Q, and then they heal, and then they poke, right? 1 more, right? Okay, she didn't hit him, but then he steps forward, and what was that? Like, what are you looking for? And now they have very little health. They used heal, yeah, but Milio will just heal up from the potions, the half of the HP. They will need to remain a little bit further, and it will go much better. But actually, I love it when I say something and the players are doing the opposite. Let's see again what Caitlyn is doing and why it's something bad. But well, as I said, they should. We could expect that our bot lane will be winning, but they obviously can do something weird. So at this position here, well, Jhin has the 4th shot, which obviously hurts. So after this, he's being useless, but there's a ability from the Tahm that he can use to make it kinda worth. And cannot be too greedy. Like, yes, if there's no Tahm and Jhin is approaching us with only 4th shot, then we wanna literally stay on him, because he cannot shot after that, right? So it's gonna be free trade for us. But in this case, there's a Tahm Kench, and there are 4 players playing this game on the bot lane. So as a Caitlyn, I want to look at my support, track his cooldowns, I want to look at this guy and not this guy, not only at enemy AD carry. If enemy support has a direct way of damaging us, and it's only in a straight way and it doesn't go through the minions, I think I wanna respect that, especially if I have such a big range. Let's see again. This auto is weird, this is very nice. Like, I can auto, right? Like, I see that he's walking forward, I just can't position myself to the left. Right here, I don't chase towards the right. I chase towards the left because this minion is blocking, right? If I'm okay with enemy support hitting me, and then I'm going to continue the chase, sure, then it's a fine idea. But in this case, she's cancelling after that, so she didn't even remember that Tahm has a Q? That's so bad, right? And from the situation where we had like a huge advantage, like this headshot that she used when she entered the lane, it was so good. But now, well, we get a free poke from the Tahm and it's much worse. It's still good, we still have a potion, and we still can be very aggressive, but you see how random it is. Nice shield from the Milio, he expected that to hit, and we should expect that, and that's so weird. Like, how are you gonna hit that? Like, let's go over the skill shot theory. Like, the very important thing when hitting skill shots is to acknowledge that we have walls in the game. And yes, that's so simple. If we have a wall like this, if enemy is running away, let's say we are here, and enemy is here. And if he runs towards the right, then he will have access to dodging to the left, to the right, to up, down, and all of the directions. But if he is hugging the wall, he cannot dodge on the left. So what you want to wait for, and we can rewind it a little bit. What you want to wait for is for him to be close to the wall and think about it from the perspective, okay, if I throw my Q, and maybe let's wait for the specific moment. If I throw my Q, where he will run, right? From this position, he can run up, right, kinda down right, down left, and down, right? So there's not much space to dodge. If my support would be here with me, and I want Jhin to step and dodge towards the left side, then I can throw it slightly above, because then the only option for him to dodge is here and walk into us. Or he can get hit by my Q and run away, which is kinda win-win situation. But here, what she's doing, instead of landing it here, where she should, because if he runs away, then fine, but there's a minion with low health, so it's very unlikely for people to give up their minions. He can only dodge towards this, because here's a wall, right? He cannot hide in the wall. So you literally can aim it on his waist, right there, and you're gonna hit, or he's gonna run into you. And unless this guy has cooldown, it's gonna be a free shot for us, because we can step outside of the bushes, hit and hide on bush, and be really, really cool with that. Instead of this, we got Q that kinda prevents him from getting that minion, but you see how far it is thrown? It doesn't make any sense. Now this auto is like, okay, auto for auto, but that's only okay because we have potion advantage. Let's see, can she do it a little bit better? Let's take a look. Q. See, they know about the bush, so it cannot get better. So it's fine. If the ward wouldn't be placed, she would have to hide on bush, and then the trade would be even better, because he would go closer to the bushes and she could then do auto for auto, so we get 2 auto attacks. And in case when we are out-sustaining our enemy, it's a good thing to do very, very often. So right now, he's on a 4th shot, so we don't want to get hit by that unless we have a shield from the Milio, and we want to make sure that the wave will be going towards our way. We are low on health, right? So we want to make sure that we will be able to recall at the 3rd wave at best. So using Q like this to simply, yeah, maybe I will hit you, is really pointless. If there's something that they will come up for, then sure, go for that Q. But now you used your Q and you're very, very scared. You don't have to hit them with something. You don't have to hope that you will maybe hit ability on the full range. No, it's still okay situation for you on the lane. So just focus on the wave and make sure that you are not using your mana randomly. So this last hitting is relatively okay, because the later we will last hit the minions, the easier it will be for us to position ourselves around the minions and zone them away, because if the wave would be, let's say, meeting here, they can hack the turret and still be in range for the minions. So this is a relatively fine position for the Caitlyn. But now, instead of waiting, I could really crush it and just go back to the base. Because why would I lane here? Like, during the crash, I wanna use my mana, I wanna use my abilities. So if that Q earlier was a plan of like, okay, I have enough mana for this and the next wave and I will then recall, then it's fine to look for the random Qs, because if you hit it, it's always a good thing. And if you have enough mana for crash and you know it and you are aware of it, then it's a fine thing. But if you use it just randomly without a plan, without a purpose, then it's weird. As you can see, they are not really using their abilities right now. They are not making it harder for them to do something here under the turret, and they are forcing the plate. Well, imagine they go back to the base, they regen their healths, they get longsword and maybe a refillable potion, and then they come back to the wave that is pushing towards them because the wave bounces. Like, it's gonna be so hard for them. And look, if Caitlyn would do that, she would go back to the base. Milio has the roam timer, so he can go and help. But right now, she would be stuck under the turret, going for I don't know what. Milio goes away and she could be in base right now and this could be pushing into her. It would be so much better. But right now she's forced to stay on the lane. Her support left her because there's a fight going on there, and she's gonna be like, hey, where's my support? I cannot play the game, and she's lost and she doesn't have idea what to do. Imagine she went to the base and then don't commit to fight that's super dangerous for her. She would get back on the lane with an items, with HP and mana, which if she plans to do a cheater recall on the third wave, she could use a little bit more, right? She could use more of her health and mana, so even more random Qs, but that's good only when you are saying that, okay, I will go back, right? Not just randomly throwing and then, hey, I can actually go back. No, it has to be a part of the plan, because if you want to be consistently good on it, then you don't want to use your spells randomly and you want to be aware of managing your mana. And right now she will be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get some farm. I don't really know what the hell Jhin and Tahm Kench are doing and looking for here. I'm sure they are... Let's just see it again. Like, how the hell you're going to join that fight? Like, no way. They would have to dive this guy. Why they would dive this guy? No way that they do anything. Go back. Nothing to do here. You can hold the wave for a mid laner, but he has TP. Pointless to go there. And at that time, Caitlyn is still staying on the lane instead of getting back to the base, instead of forcing. And imagine that if she would let this wave bounce after... Let's maybe go over that. If you will crash the wave and all of the minions will be in the tower's range, and then the minions are creating a slow push, then all of the minions that come to the lane, the blue minions, will be very quickly dying and you can freeze. So until Jhin comes back to the lane, you will be freezing and he will be losing. Right now, you're stacking a big wave for him and he's gonna be relatively thankful. But luckily for them, they overstay for some reason and they get a kill in a random way. But this could be so much better and so much more consistent. And this is only fine because they did something really stupid, which is chasing enemy half of the map without having a range. If he would have ult, maybe with ult he could help, but... well, we got level 2, so we don't have our ults. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for everyone who watched that, and leave a like, comment and sub, and see ya in the next one.